to, I'm doing this video because I think it's really important for me to let my understanding know who my friends are and know how much they mean to me. Anyways, this goes out to one girl in particular, that, his brother had said something about in the summer. Anyways, I just wanted her to let you know to let her know that I didn't mean anything by it. It was just a fluke, and that I think she's a great, wonderful friend, and yes, everybody has their moments where they say things or do things that like that are not necessarily true or come out meant to say things, but it came out the wrong way to people. Anyways, doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means that I made bad choices. And when you're a teenager, when you go to school, and when you're just a young teenager, you don't realize this. But as you get older, even still, I don't know why I didn't realize that mistake I made in the summer. I just totally forgot about it. Because I guess people they would understand it, they would take it there. But when my mom explained it, that I was kind of blaming the person for me not being there, that it kind of sounded like that, I felt really bad. I said it like because of him, I didn't attend baseball, and that's not true. The reason I didn't attend baseball was because of my actions towards this gentleman. You see, because he was throwing his glove and everything, it bothered me a lot. So much that I got angry, and I could have lashed out. When I was so angry in the car that I couldn't really get over it. I could lash out. I could lash out. I could swear. I could yell at this gentleman. And really, he did nothing to me to deserve that. Really, he was just lashing out, making a fool of himself. Nothing towards me. The only person who's making a fool of himself is himself. Doesn't mean anything towards me, really. But yeah, just things like that. I really enjoy baseball, and I really enjoy the friends I made. And that's the majority of going to the BIBA, going bowling each year, just playing any summer sport, it's just to have fun, really. And I'm thinking about joining the golf, for No Limits Golf at one point. Being on that league was with one of my other good friends. Because golf isn't just an easy sport. I mean, there are some golfers that throw their bag in the water, then when they get the bad balls, throw their club on the ground, but at least they apologize for it. At least they do. And the golfers were really, a big accomplishment by apologizing, and they don't do that again. They apologize, they feel bad for doing it, and then because they realize they're being poor sportsmanlike. And that's the way it should be. Right? When you throw your glove on the ground, you don't realize, or when you throw your club, you don't realize how it affects the whole team. And yes, even though I talked about it, I wasn't getting angry at the fact that yes, he threw his glove on the ground. I was angry that he affected the whole team. And he could have affected the whole team, which, causes me to lose it, and swear, and blah, 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 like that. Things like that. It's just unnecessary, unwanted behavior. Somebody that acts it could be anywhere. It could be in a store or something. somebody goes up to somebody who's cranky, you know, to a cashier or to somebody else, you know. Somebody orders a meal and they get the wrong meal and you know, that's not the meal I wanted, you know. What is it, your first day on a fucking job? Get me my fucking burger, you idiot. You know. I'm never coming back to this place again, you know. It's just stuff like that, you know, really ticks me off. And I always have to be reminded that, you know, to just back off and just say, you know, boy, this person's really ticking me off. But that doesn't mean I have to slug them. That's why I really want to talk to somebody still. Because I have that big fear of acting that way in public, because I don't want to be just as bad as they are. And I want to enjoy I have walked down to Tim Hortons independently, but I think I have this big fear of like acting out inappropriate, because growing up, I've always had anger issues. I always acted out inappropriately and not being aware of my surroundings, you know, being a young kid. You know, and now I am. Now I'm like, okay, can you take me somewhere? Can you take me this? Can you take me that? I don't want to do that all my life. So I'm going to see somebody, you know, about independence and what I should be doing, you know, in the community, you know. Just about that, you know, just to help me, you know, because I do have a potential of being independent. And I want to be independent. I want to go out on my own and do my own things. I don't want to have my parents rely on me all the time. It's not nice. Right? It could be just anywhere, things like that. And I'm sorry about the people that are hurt in the summertime, but it's not just Alan or Joseph or whatever his name, whoever it is. Could be Angeline, it could be a girl called Selena, it could be, you know, it's a complete stranger, just complete anybody, you know. If they do something I don't like, boy, I get mad. Look out, you know. Doesn't have to be about Alan and look out, boy, if you're acting inappropriate, you'll hear it from me, whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on Facebook, one of the two. Possibly on Twitter, because my mom doesn't have a Twitter account. Anyways, but thing is, though, I try to make it appropriate. I don't try to just say, oh, this person's an asshole. This person is really pissing me off. You should just go with it, get the heck out of there. You know, I don't say things like that. Not normally. That was abnormal, that one, in the summertime. That was completely out of my complex. I don't even do that, usually. I don't even, you know, I don't even know where the idea came from that because of him I couldn't be there. I honestly don't really know the circumstance, where that came to be. I think it all came to be because of stress, because I felt bad for not being there, and my brain just told me to write it down, and because I was angry at the fact that Daddy threw his glove on the ground, or banging his helmet, and the point is Daddy got told off once, and my friend told me that this guy yelled at another player, and that really set me off, just hearing that, you know. I didn't like that. I don't like it when people yell at somebody just because they have a problem. It's not nice. Right? And I know this guy has issues, but so does everybody. It doesn't make it okay. Right? People walk up there with the same kind of issues, maybe even worse. Maybe 3 or 4 times issues. I have a friend that I went to high school with. She has schizophrenia, fetal alcohol syndrome, and ADD, or ADHD, schizophrenia, right? I think I already said that. So she has schizophrenia, ADHD, fetal alcohol syndrome, paranoia, and she still gets along well okay. You know? So when she gets a little bit paranoid about her surroundings, that doesn't seem to stop her. Right? Yeah, sure, she gets mad at certain circumstances, but she doesn't go around like stomping her feet, I don't think, or most people don't go around stomping their feet and throwing their gloves around and playing a similar sport, you know. Most people just deal with it and then there you go. Like, I know it's baseball and I know it's frustrating for people to have to not be able to catch the ball or but look at me. Alright, I'm leaving this whole guy thing out of the future for right now and just focus on me for a second. And I'm a terrible baseball player. When that ball was flying so hard at me, I moved out of the way. I didn't even catch it. And yet you still expect me to be on your team. This guy was a better baseball player than anybody I know. Right? Even though he does throw his glove or he does yell at his teammates sometimes, he's still a good baseball player, man. Like, he's have many good qualities and he does without. He just doesn't know it yet. Right? He just doesn't know it. But everybody has good qualities about them sometimes. Sometimes, depending on the person, I guess. Like, if you're mean and grouchy, what good qualities can you look for inside of them? It's gonna be hard, right? Alan, he was always, or this guy, sorry, it didn't, this guy, he was always nice to me, This guy, he was always fantastic to me. Like, he didn't talk to me much. I don't, because whenever there was a problem, I tried to get him to talk, but there was no answer. I think that's what upset me more often, is that I didn't get an answer. I didn't get, when he could have just said, well, I don't agree with the rules, or I don't agree with this, or I could have told him. Instead, I just told him, if you can't deal with being there, don't be there. And that's the only reason why I didn't show up. Because I couldn't handle being there. Right? So I didn't attend. But at the same time, it really did hurt my teammates. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I just wanted it to go away. But in that memory, it still is in that memory, Jessica, Jesse, Gloria, Vicky, all the people I hurt, right? Just for not being there, right? If one person doesn't show up, it doesn't make a team. It's the same with anybody else, right? Right? How can you make it a team if one person just decides to step aside and say, you know what, I'm not going to play today because it's somebody else. It was my fault because I asked for Ellen to be there. Or I asked for it could be anybody. It might not even be him. It could be anybody that is acting inappropriate. You see, I don't find I saw people acting inappropriate on that team because I don't think they liked what they saw. I find he got so angry, and so it was because of this, and because I get angry too, my actions can be just as bad or more hurtful than his actions. I would be the one being the bully, not him. I would have been the one, swearing and carrying on and trying to get answering, and I would have been the one, losing it, not him. He would just kind of walking away, which, if I would have stayed there longer, I would have got angry and then probably, yelled and sweared and said some stuff that I didn't really mean. It's bad enough that I said stuff online, but to actually say it in person is worse. Because it comes across the right way, when you're angry and online, it comes across many different things, but when you say it in person, it only comes across in one way and one way only. When you say it online, it comes across as a person that, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Or a person would say, yeah, that's kind of rude. But when you come across in person, it comes out one way and one way only. R-U-D-E, rude. Right? I didn't want to be that RUDEBT person, you know. All I wanted to do was enjoy the game. And that's all that any sport should be. You know, no one should be acting inappropriate in sports. Yeah, if they don't hit the ball or they throw their bat, then that's no big problem. But when they're like making a scene or whatever issues they have, you know, you could be a professional baseball player, you know, and you break something. Sometimes they break the camera or they do that and stuff. They do get in big trouble, you know. They get suspended, you know, a game or two. And then they come back, and then they don't do it again sometimes. Sometimes it's the other guys instead, you know. Because you don't realize that your actions can affect the whole team. So even though you're done, even though you're on an interview and then you say it's done, it's over with, I'm over through it, people still see that. And they would do the same thing. Right? They make the same mistakes because it's like, but the thing is, we have the choice not to. Right? Like, even though you're on the Blue Jays or Boston or, you know, even if you're a game of golfer, you know, if you can't handle playing a sport, playing a simple sport, just don't do it. Just don't do it at all. Like, you can go out and find a job, maybe working at McDonald's or being a janitor somewhere, you know, because obviously the sport is too rough for you. You need something more in your time. You need something more in your time. Because sometimes you may think a baseball was a waste of your time. Right? Sometimes you may not be able to handle baseball, so you need a job to do. You need other jobs to do. To distract you from what is bothering you on that team. Like, if you don't agree with the rules of baseball, or you don't agree with something, and even my dad did say that, you know, if you watched baseball, it's the same rules in baseball as it is in the field, as it is in BIBA. Only difference is, though, it doesn't matter if you get, you know, you're still safe on first base. That's the only difference. But other than that, I don't watch baseball very much, but I do. I understand. I watched enough to know that every rule is the same on baseball. See? And if you can't abide by that, or if you don't abide by that rule, then you're just either plain dumb or just think you're smarter than anybody else. You know? And that is a fact, for sure. That is a complete fact, for sure, that you could be smarter than anybody else or you're just complete dumb. That's it. And I'm not talking about this particular person, I'm talking about everybody. Everybody, you know? And yes, it's maddening to accept the fact that, you know, the rules have changed, but this guy here, he got upset, because when I first started baseball, you know, even though we did trip the other guy, even if it was by accident, it still was out. Well, they changed that. They changed the rules. They changed it so then if he trips him, he's still safe. Which makes sense, though, right? Because in regular baseball, that's the way it should be, right? This isn't the BIBA. We're not like a baseball team on TV. We don't play for money. We play to make friends, and we play to enjoy it. So why couldn't they just have that rule to begin with? I mean, like, it's a good rule, though, right? Like, if I got tripped, or if this guy throws the glove got tripped, he should still be safe. Baseball. Right? Make it more fair. Or if he tripped another guy, even by accident, he should be more safe. Okay, well then, sorry, I got zoomed out for a little bit. Anyways, yeah, see, I was always a good person at baseball. I was always well liked. I have never had a problem with any of my friends. You know? I don't really care if I didn't show up. I knew I was wanted. I knew I was wanted. I knew that they wanted me just like I wanted them. You know? I knew I was well liked at baseball. I knew I was wanted by everybody. But the point is that I couldn't handle the fact that somebody, could be anybody, anybody, not just him, but anybody, acted out in public the way he did.